Talking Point platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet mama Salone. Now we all come together as well for tomorrow. Now we go make Salone.
We get to do with the international relations.
Well, these and other stories, them doing the program for you. Good morning, Salone. Plus, we go talk to the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Conrad Saki. We go talk about how then go stuff for pay for WASFI, for repeaters, them teachers recruitment and other things. Them we don't happen at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. The program that Good Morning Salone, they can see from 98.1 FM. And same way, so they listen to we on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl and SEF. They listen to we across Salone through we partner stations them. They listen to from Radio Shalom 89.5 na Kweneduga and Falaba District, Radio Malen 88.5 and Radio 1G 11.3 all na Pujon District, Radio Kolente 90.5 na Cambia, Radio Ma 15.5 na Kailaun, Vopad Radio na Watalo, Voice of Sando na Kono District on 95.7 FM. And Voice of Kalina na Kamakyo 98.0, Voice of Masoro na Pujaon District. The program na Good Morning Salone, you can be part of one by week. You can send text message to the number 0779819181. 0779819181 are the number for sending text message and be part of the program Good Morning Salone. Go on our Facebook page and drop your comment on issues that we will discuss inside the program Good Morning Salone. As we mentioned inside one power headline stories, and today inside the program we go talk to the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba. For second that I want for welcome you inside the program. Good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salone.
Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, Famulena Salone. Season greetings to everyone.
Same to you. Continue for the with you inside the program. We come to you shortly. The program Good Morning Salone they continue. We start for look at issues. We go say the president for the past members of the FLOSAC Limited, Miri Inokama Kagbo Ronkolon, all other organization and foundation we come out from university them across the country for continue give help to the less privileged na society as we for create impact na then different community them to people we need them. Talk this we past members of the FLOSAC Limited go akana the Multimaga School for the blind for hand over food item to the school. For more on this we join Jaffa Mans Davis.
National School picking them at the Multimaga School for the blind. Been the welcome past member them na the FLOSAC Limited. We go work at the school. For second the Christmas and New Year holiday, where they come just now. The past member them of the FLOSAC na first and students them. We been joined the FLOSAC organization at Fabe College. But as the December holiday, attempt for make people in organization them. Do thing them for help the needy, make this organization after they celebrate their 56th anniversary, continue their over 20-year worker to the Multimaga School for the blind for give support to the school with food item them. Mary Kamara Kagbo, now the president for the past member of the FLOSAC, he talk more about this worker.
This school here, now one of the school they always cancel. For the past 3-4 years, now around Christmas time we can decide for camp because we know say Christmas, the true spirit of Christmas now for share with others and less privileged and needy people there. I believe say all other organizations, all other foundations there, and we say for continue this tradition and legacy. It means a lot to communities because we have a lot of things we can do out there for people that were not able to afford that. Not just this school, many other orphanages then they, many other organizations and they will need a helping hand. So I think so we all for just continue this good work where past members the FLOSAC Limited they do.
This support and one way this organization don't they do for over 20 years now. I be want for know waiting na the food item them where the organization give to the school, the president for the past member them na the FLOSAC Limited continue for explain.
Today on donation we can do, we count food items in. We count 10 bags of rice, 10 gallons of oil, onions, sardines. We even do cupcakes, Christmas cupcakes them. We count soft drink for them and tomatoes, Maggi, so that at least to go augment the rest so we can give them.
one member in this organization, Nene Umuture, talk about the reason we make the organization they support this school with the item they are inside December.
As this is a season of celebration, you are a big part of our lives. When we think about celebration, we always think about you. So for that purpose, we're here to share with you as well, as you already know.
But how this school received this support from the past member them of the Deflosacs? Let me listen to the principal at the Miltimagai School for the Blind, Salone Toure, as he been there explained.
Since I was in primary school to date, Deflosacs have never failed to come here in December. And so we want to say thank you for this presentation. And at a time like this, let me tell you one secret. Come January, there was going to be no sardine. Another thing, let me tell you also, there was no more sugar come January. Of course, this is going to help us to start the second term. Indeed, what they have brought for us is a way of augmenting what the government is also doing and supporting visually impaired education in this country.
We even the talk on behalf of Incomplete School picking them. Aisha Lansana been get this message for the past member them of the Deflosacs Limited.
On behalf of our headmaster, staff and pupils of the Miltimagai School for the Blind, I want to express my sincere thanks to the Deflosacs organization for bringing forth this donation. I hope where the money comes from, it will never lack. This relationship between you and the Miltimagai School for the Blind will continue. May God continue to bless you. Once more, I say thank you.
After this support with food item them, the past member them na Deflosacs Limited and say them plan for the school now for the give support to them 2 terms inside every year for the Society for Radio Democracy. Me, na Jefferman Davis, the report.
The program is still listening to now. Good morning, Salone. We come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. As you get from one power headline stories, them today same way. So we talk to the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Well, for Sekadata, one for welcome the Minister. We now Conrad Saki. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salone.
Good morning to all manner 98.1. Good morning to our listeners and compliments of the season.
Thank you very much. Same to you. And earlier we don't introduce the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba. We deal with at the studio for can talk about different things that we don't happen na the ministry. Well, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, they for create an effective and efficient diplomatic setup for Salone for implement government program and the activity then promotes international peace and Salone foreign policy, among other things. Then, waiting on the happen at this sector, make with the guide minister at the studio. Once again, good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salone.
Good morning. Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, people of Sierra Leone. Like you rightly say, the foreign policy of Sierra Leone is actually the declarative of Chapter 11, Section 10 of the Sierra Leone Constitution, entirely Lekwedon State, for promote and protect the interest of Sierra Leone and also the sub-region interest and, of course, the inter-African cooperation and unity. And also as a country for forge relationship with other nations within the context of mutual respect, shared values and interest, and also for respect international treaties and also for promote peace and security in the country, the sub-region, and in the world as a whole.
So are we don't sound like since we see President Biu Second be appointed as the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, are we don't sound like since he take up office?
It's interesting. The 5 I just don't take over a very important office in the country, which is the office we're responsible for the foreign policy and the international relationship all country they get with other countries and institutions and multilateral institutions. And a work we don't start a very long time, but in the past 5 years under President Bio in dispensation, Sierra Leone seemed to don't come back from Usaivin Day to a more recognized international participation in multilateral institutions and also increasing we diplomatic footprint in terms of diplomatic relationship with countries and organizations. And you see the historic election where Sierra Leone won a non-permanent seat at the UN Security Council in June this year. A country where a little over 2 decades ago, come on from a civil conflict, get an overwhelming, victory for become one of the 3 countries representing Africa under the UN Security Council with a vote of 188 of 193 participating countries, shows Sierra Leone don't really take care of international reputation for which nations of this world respect and call onto a huge global responsibility like occupying one of those enviable seats in the UN Security Council.
Now, when you talk about the issue of the country, one thing then they point at now the issue of wage bill, and then you always say the expansion of the wage bill, including foreign embassies and so on and so forth. As the Minister for Foreign Affairs, for listeners and viewers of Democracy Radio, you can take me through almost foreign embassies them Salone get, including embassies and high commissions across the world.
Absolutely, it's quite interesting. We live in a more globalized and interconnected world today, where it means no man is an island. Even in 1961, after we get to independence, Sierra Leone played a very important role in international relations and diplomacy, and so it is not new. And therefore, for consider what in Salone they spend in terms of in international cooperation, in diplomacy, in terms of having embassies and missions around the world, for criticize the amount used. I mean, it's we have to understand what it means for exist in this challenging world today. The world is so challenging that you cannot sit in Sierra Leone and expect yourself to navigate through the many challenges of the world. And therefore, as a member of the global village, you get to be visible, you get to participate, you get to promote your national interest, you get to protect your national interest. And it is in pursuit of that particular objective that make with the open embassies all over the world. And in total, we get, in terms of embassy and high commissions, we get about 26, which is really, really small. It's one of the smallest, Sierra Leone as a nation get one of the smallest representations in terms of bilateral representation to other countries in the world. So whatever we spend as a fraction of our economy, I agree, it's substantial, but with the fact that it is very important, almost indispensable for making us spend on diplomacy, because it is actually one of the very reasons why they exist as a nation state. The sovereignty. Your sovereignty will always be realized when you participate in the international space for promote and protect your own interest.
Okay.
So,
in recent time, we don't see the ministry don't they sign agreements, memorandum of understanding with other nations. Then.
Yeah, it's very important for you engage any nation. You don't forget the starting point, and that starting point is first to establish the connaissance. Say, we don't want to forget diplomatic relation, and the reason why we don't want to get that diplomatic relation is because if you say that partner nation, they will not get the same common interest and will not get mutual respect for each other, and you won't forget a footprint in their country, then you won't forget a footprint in your country. For Leona engender that sort of relationship, they can start with a framework agreement where they spell out, in clear terms, how we want to expand the relation economically, politically, and culturally or socially, if you like. And so it is very important, like I said, at the starting point for establishing a diplomatic relationship. If you realize, say, at the start of this particular time, we don't get framework agreement with some countries that will know one day get framework agreement with, for instance, Saudi Arabia, when His Excellency the President visited Saudi Arabia in October, I suppose, for the Saudi African Investment Conference. You see, we signed a framework agreement with Saudi Arabia. That at the commencement of a deepening bilateral relation with Saudi Arabia, especially in the realm of economic diplomacy, we mean say Sierra Leone will now continue for work with Saudi Arabia for investment in infrastructure, in education, in agriculture, as all of these are components of the president in 5 game changer priorities. So that's make we can sign agreement there. We also get a similar agreement with Morocco, where we just don't complete. And all this they show that Sierra Leone is expanding its bilateral relation in terms of economic and political and social.
Talking about bilateral relations, Salone lately been start discussion of embassy establishments in Jerusalem. What's in the happen with this conversation?
I have to say that Sierra Leone get desire for open embassy in the state of Israel, and the capital city of Israel is Tel Aviv. And when that happens, the embassy is going to be situated in Tel Aviv. I heard, of course, rumors of that flying, but that did not. Of course, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is responsible for the articulation and promotion of Sierra Leone foreign policy. And in no way did that come from Foreign Affairs that we're going to open an embassy in Jerusalem. We have the desire to open an embassy in Israel. A conversation was held between His Excellency the President and the Foreign Minister of Israel, Minister Cohen, on the pretext that if Sierra Leone open in foreign mission Israel, it will be inside Tel Aviv as the capital city.
So the discussion about you having an embassy or planning to establish an embassy in Jerusalem, not to be even there among some government officials.
These days, it's very difficult for you authenticate the veracity of information with the pass on the internet. And I'm speaking to you as a representative of the president on foreign policy. And I want you to believe that anytime a country opens an embassy in a country, it is open in the capital city of that embassy. Then can get consulates in other cities of the existing country. So in this case, get it from me categorically that if Sierra Leone is going to have an embassy in Israel, it's going to be situated in Tel Aviv.
For somebody who don't know the rules and responsibility of embassies, what are the rules and responsibility?
An embassy is the representation of a country in another country. And the embassy is led by the head of the mission, and in some cases by ambassadors. In countries where they're part of the Commonwealth of Nations, High Commissioner, that they become the mission head of the embassy. And the embassy, they function like the country. They promote the interest and protect the interests of the citizens and of the country where the embassy represents the host country.
So the issue we just discussed, Salone having the plan to establish an embassy in Israel, we are still hold on to that plan?
Well, it's a planning. Planning is a process. You have to look at very many factors in terms of preparation for you do that. Israel is an existing state. Sierra Leone is an existing state. There is desire for the establishment of an embassy in Israel. In due course, when we're ready for that, we'll do it.
Looking at the tension in other parts of the world and other region, the Salone still gets the desire for establishing an embassy.
Everybody is absolutely frustrated and disappointed by the circumstances where they prevail between the Israel and Palestine situation. And Sierra Leone in principle position that we support the inalienable right of people for exist. And that is why Sierra Leone position that there should be a two-state solution at the end of the day. We say they get clear-cut borders between Israel and Palestine, and for the two countries then for live in peace and harmony and for development. Nonetheless, this is an unfortunate situation, but absolutely the conflict will come to an end and peace will reign, and then two countries will exist. And Sierra Leone, as a player in the international space, we get forget relationship with everybody.
Continue for stay with me inside the program. When we come back, we continue for look at more issues we get for do with the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation and Salone Foreign Policy, una the promote abroad. In name na Timothy Kabaina, Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. The program na Good Morning Salone, the country from 98.1 FM.
The program is still a listen to na Good Morning Salone, and they come to you from a New Englandville studio. Earlier, I want to tell us we get the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education at the studio in Save there, so for can tell we, but waiting, it on the door. The Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education are the body we're responsible for basic and senior education at the country. In this BN term, we don't see outside they don't take different activity then for push education business go before at the country, like teacher recruitment and promotion for the next academic year, the removal of WASP payments for repeaters them and other one them. We get the minister and also today for making self can tell family them, but waiting then think the same way so the work with them don't they do. Good morning, Mr. Saki, and welcome to Good Morning Salone.
Good morning to you too.
Okay.
And good morning to you listeners.
Okay, we go start for look on your activity them since you take up office at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Education.
Well, as I can always say, when I take up the ministry, me not somebody will be the work na the ministry, me not be the chair na the teaching service commission. I be the report to Minister Senge, when I be my boss. So quite a lot of the thing that we be they do, myself now be part and parcel of the development and the. So effectively, I'm not new na the ministry. So while I take over the post, the first thing I say is that we go consolidate all the things that we don't do, all the gains that we don't make. And where we get data where they show say we need to accelerate program, then we would continue for do that. So since I don't take over, the number of new things that we would do, a number of new deals and agreements that we would sign, follow up on things that we begin do. Yes, so let me just name a couple of them. So the first thing we will do is for sign an agreement with the World Bank. We then give it $20 million for foundational learning. We also did in the process of signing an agreement with Education Above All. We will give it $13.7 million for we work what they do with them picking and win out this school. We also don't get $10 million from Lego Foundation, and then for work on foundational learning as well. And we also get $40 million from the Global Partnership for Education, and then they serve for work with foundational learning and work. As I talk, so just this Thursday we past gone, we get news say that Lego Foundation don't give you another $11.5 million for work with early childhood development. A program we'll get with another organization called Education Outcome Fund. Part of that, the EU the pledge say they also give you 2 million euros as part of that deal. So when you put all of them together, in the first 4 months of the president in second term, we almost are now at $90-something million. So you can see, say, with the develop for Musa Minister Senge be left off. Some of the discussion there we don't begin them. We being said we did it, so we continue for push them, and that I mean by consolidating waiting we do. So those are some of the things that we would do. But let me just give you another thing. Just last week alone, I opened 29 different early childhood development centers there across the country. But I do an Moyamba. Then they go give me 118 new classrooms now the system, but we get more what they do as well.
Okay, you make mention of foundational study. Plenty couple don't count for foundational study. You feel plenty Sierra Leone picking then go get access to this preschool because like most preschool they would assist in a private proprietor then get her.
Well, this is exactly why we did try to get more money for this, because effectively historically in our private institution they can go in preschool. But we know that picking and we go preschool, then can get a better start in education. So what the government do 2022, we make a compulsory say we go fund at least 1 year of free school, preschool for all we picking them. So now we need for make sure say we get the facilities then for make sure say that they happen. We enshrine that in the Basic Education Act where we do 2023. So one of the reasons we make you see at the push now for make sure say what thing government say they do, it won't.
How important this pre-education day or early pre-primary education day for the book learning sector in Salone and the beginning preparation for take-up academic work at higher level?
Well, let's go back to 2022. 2022, we do a national baseline study for look at how people are able to read and how they're able to do basic maths, simple maths. What you find out from that study, then we call an EGMA-EGRA, when an early grade arithmetic and reading. What you find out from that study, was 65% of who picking them. If you give them one basic text for read, if they're able to read them, they're not going to understand what they read. They're not going to be able to explain to you what they read. So we know that we will get some serious problem. That situation they now call learning poverty. Not to Salone no more do. It in all country, and it in Ghana, it in Nigeria. But we, as a government, decide to we will take that the head on. So the president make a commitment that at the center of we fight for improved education at this country and provide quality education, we go make sure say we begin and get the ability for be able to read, for write, and for also for do basic mathematics. So on that commitment the way the president make, now we begin work, and I we don't able to get most of the money out. So we now don't get the money, and let just explain what foundational learning means. You know, if you look at most other countries, we don't talk about foundational learning, they will tell you about literacy and numeracy. We say foundational learning will get 5 components. It will get literacy, it will get numeracy, it will get socio-emotional skills, and they help you for do people make you able to persevere, they help you with teamwork and then kind of thing, and then socio-emotional skills. But in addition, we will also do what we call civics, for make sure so we they learn for be tolerant to each other. They learn for be tolerant, for understand the relationship between themselves and their parent, the relationship between themselves and the community, the relationship between themselves and people from different parts of the country. But also as global citizens, you know, the foreign minister will tell you said we live in a global world. So therefore, we want to pick them for able to understand the relationship and in place that global world. Yes, but in addition, the 5th one we'll get now digital skills. We all know now, say everything now technology. So we want to pick them for then right at the heart of that 4th industrial revolution, we themselves go able to use technology in waiting and they do. So we get a very comprehensive foundational learning base where we start off for.
Now you take over take up a ministry from the person we now are the chief minister, and before that we been get the award we. Then being created as the best minister, and also we see government emphasis on this ministry in President Bill in first 5 term. Are we don't turn like for step in the shoe of that kind of ministry where the country we don't pay attention to, and government will invest plenty couple pound for push education go before?
Well, let's tell you something. Now, big shoes that I step into. So I don't put my foot inside the shoes. I also the stuffer also for make sure say fit and it fits well. So that big ministry. But let me just give the public some confidence that government continue for fund the education sector. It is one of the 5 game changers now, part of the human capital development. We maintain the 22% we get, and let me just explain to the general public. You know, Global Partnership for Education, they recommend, say, all countries then for put 20% of the budget for education. Now, Africa, they not reach 5 countries, we don't achieve that. Salone not only do achieve with the 20%, we put 2% buya, now make we get 22%. The new budget they just approved in Parliament yesterday, we also get a 1% education levy, we then go pull pan withholding tax. So not only we don't pass that 20% and put 2, we also get extra money where the government don't put. And if you see government put now the new budget, it should say with the right and center of the president's vision for transform this country.
Continue for stay with me, the program minister for basic and senior secondary education. When we come back, we continue for look at the activities that we don't do so far now the ministry. In name na Conrad Sakina, the minister for basic and senior secondary education. The program na Good Morning Salone, the country from 98.1 FM. We'll go for a short break.
When I go take your money and go. Also network problem. What's we go do now?
Go na any Salone Commercial Bank branch, kiosk or sub-agent them, all about na the country. Then get the money service business. You go able to take money where they send for you na MoneyGram, Western Union, Small World, and Ria Money, where they over 150 country them. With the Ria and Small World, this na for we brother and sister there where they oversee. Then can able send money direct na Salone Commercial Bank accounts. Na Salonia, like they one day we want bill us, or they one day we want kawaka, or for support them family them. Then can they oversee and put money inside them bank accounts.
How for do all this if I dey over under?
It easy, me brother. All you for do, now for download the Rare and Small World app them and put your personal information them. Now you that. Remember say, you forget valid ID card and the correct code where the person send for you for go take you money.
I want send money from your uncle upline.
No worry. Salone Commercial Bank column Salone Link, whether the local transfer and Million Salone Commercial Bank money, where anybody can go na any Salone Commercial Bank branch, kiosk, and then sub Salone Commercial Bank agents there. Any sign at the country and tell the teller say you want send money upline. Then go do your transaction and give you code where you go send to your uncle, but your uncle forget valid ID card and the code where they give you, send and to them so it go take you money. Salone Commercial Bank, they look for agents them where they do money transfer for partner with them.
Waiting at the sub agent.
Sub agents na people that will get business. We want for do money transfer service for Salone Commercial Bank. This service will give you good commission. So go na Salone Commercial Bank and go register or call them na this number here 077-714-792. Then go talk to you. Fine one.
Salone Commercial Bank, delivering value. When I go take your money and go.
The program is still a listen to na Good Morning Salone, and they come to you from a New Englandville studio. We go take another issue inside the program this morning. Dr. Turaz Senesi, Dr. Turaz Senesi said the ministry been able to collect over 50 billion loans. We then collect from people. We get for pay building permits and other thing them. Dr. Turaz Senesi talked this inside one interview to Radio Democracy, where he will talk about the thing them where the ministry do for sake of them success and challenge them where they may get inside 2023. He explain more to Radio Democracy, Kabia inside this interview.
Well, I take her in good faith. And one thing I know is that the president believes in hard work. And I think say waiting in dream. I not achieve all it, but I don't they try for make sure say some of them things that we want for see happen at the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning, they're on track and they move. So I take her say a great challenge. I'll be happy where you appoint me back. And at the same time, I take her and say this is not a challenge way you don't also challenge me for that do more.
Okay, so let we talk now. From where you come, what's gonna be the new thing them where you come back after the election where they appoint you, where you come with the ministry?
Well, the things in Boko now, we don't do some, but a lot more needs to be done. Now, at the stage where we are now reviewing the laws that we've been there, we don't manage, you go realize the first work come, the assignment we've been given and for can stabilize the ministry. And I mean, the first thing we be tell me, so go stabilize the ministry and try forget your programs then on track. Now them programs and they would already put on track, but we're not able to go on with full implementation if we not review the laws then. Because the laws that we've been there from 1960 to date, we'll not do much yet in terms of reviewing those laws. Times don't change, Mokutin don't change, the environment don't change, we don't get more people, more demands for land. So we need for review them laws and they back for make sure say we're able to meet the current challenges. So now we're at a stage where we are reviewing those laws, and at the same time, we also in the administration we get for the interest of the people as far as land administration is concerned, land management is concerned.
And one thing where people be don't they see the government in the ministry don't they do. Now outside the ministry they allocate land to different sets of people where they work on a different side them for the citizens and back gain land. So in that area, how the ministry come about this for city they will forgive land to them people there?
Well, one of the things as a government who can observe or discover is the fact that you get few people where they may live saying that they're no more for get land and they're no more for control land. And most of the land where they control, now the state don't get them. But because of some lethargy on the part of we at the governance level, be it the present and the past, so then people don't take some undue advantage, make sure so they claim all the land them, not only in the western area, but even in the provincial towns. So as a result, now they no more they take land and sell and give people, and Boku people and they were not able to get that money they're able to afford. So it's been difficult for Boku people and get land. So who come, we see and say no, most of their land they are not grip people, they don't grip them. So try to make sure so take back the one where the government get them and redistribute them to people. And by so doing, you go see say inside the western area in particular when I did more fight the land business, you will realize say threat, confusion, controversy, it don't drastically reduce because we make now people and more people get access to land with little pain. Some people are not even make efforts. We introduce some models and way you participate in that, you get land without you not get headache. So you see, say inside the Western area don't stabilize. Conflict over land we don't reduce them to the barest minimum. So I think say we are making progress.
So according to you, most of the land and people they don't grab them in a state's land. What measures the ministry don't put in place for? They say the one they own they give the land, they own the land. Let people not go say this na me land because plenty more the act and say na me land is in puller and get documents in comments from the ministry. So it's one I don't put in place for say we states give us the land. That land they belong to that person.
Well, they make sure say who SSFL from help from make let the person get possession of the land and one. If you in a land grabber, they don't go take the land, they don't go sell and give you, then go manufacture document and give you. That person who don't give the land to who knows again a government land and we don't act on behalf of government, we don't give that person it. There you go trespass. Or they join that person who don't get the land for make sure so prosecute you. And we don't they do and we don't they make sure say we don't they succeed in 2 million of them. Some people they didn't pardon by road self, they been in jail. Pass away they don't pull and so now maybe. But then go catch them back and carry them go back. So we don't do a lot of prosecution and most of the people they don't face justice.
So what thing you go and say now your biggest achievements where you able for making the ministry for the year 2023?
Well, we're able for land and begin for implement the project, the Sierra Leone Land Administration project, where we move on so fast. And now we're in another phase where the project, they can make sure so we get kind of land title registration. We will solve all the problems in terms of land ownership across Sierra Leone, not only in Freetown, because we can go full-time digital in terms of, land documentation at Sierra Leone. That's one big achievement that we don't get. The second one is we're able for also land affordable housing in Sierra Leone. In terms of conflict resolution, we don't also make sure, say, we don't reduce them to the barest minimum. And besides, we don't introduce also the National Land Commission, a functional now. Now the staff, they don't need them post. No sooner we don't fix the system, we begin land title registration. Another achievement also is that we don't pass the Sierra Leone Customary Land Rights Act, where they give women there now the opportunity for let themselves get land without headache, where they also make the one that will be the Freetown, where they say they create them, they don't get access to land in the provinces. They also now equally get rights for own land, access and own land in the provinces. But above all, the staff capacity in the ministry, we don't work towards improving on that. And at the same time, we don't force the staff for let them know, say, the public and the clients, and that then they now for serve the clients. And they don't understand that now.
So let's talk about revenue collection. How we don't sound like in the ministry?
When we come in as a government in 2018, revenue will be collect, or whether they collect before 2018, between them 500 to 600 million leons. As I talk to you now, currently what we don't collect in terms of revenue generation is over 50 billion just this year. Last year we collect something up to then 18 to 20 billion. We review a strategy. This year it don't go over that 50 billion right now as I talk to you. So
this over 50 billion only so I don't get that. Now so now they get that from and this money waiting the ministry they do time.
Not to the ministry now, government will get that for. They go straight into the consolidated fund. Government they use that money they based on the waiting at the president a priority for providing social services like schools, support medical care, bring development to communities. This is not just one we don't do what they call. We are going to go into hundreds of billions. Now the ministry from survey bills, lease rents, freehold, that's no more. Now from that the building permits. This now inside Western area no more we raise them money also.
So Mr. Minister, your Christmas message?
It's very simple. That is, let's make sure so we embrace peace in Sierra Leone. The confusion don't too much, the violence don't too much, it don't pass mark. As a result, it's in our government programs, they need to go according to schedule. Because the thing we don't do yesterday, all on can't inside today because of them small things the way they happen. With the waste we own time unnecessarily as Sierra Leoneans, we have too many things for do for catch up with the rest of the world. So there is hope. And that I hope they will all for embrace and move Sierra Leone.
Dr. Turaz Sedensina, in name and need and the Minister of Lands. If they talk to Radio Democracy, Kabia, but waiting them collect inside the ear for sake building permits and other thing them. And same way so the success and challenges the way the ministry go through inside 2023.
The program is today listened to now. Good morning, Salone. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. If you just join me today, we talk to the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba, And same also we gain at the studio the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Conrad Saki. Well, we come to Timothy Kabai again. Earlier, we don't talk about the role of the foreign affairs and what we don't do so far. People when they follow national issues, gonna say June this year, Salone been win seat at the Security Council, where then go occupy 1st January or January 2024. How Salone prepare for take part in this, and what it mean for Salone for the Security Council?
I mean, it's very important. Sierra Leone, after 10 years of independence in 1971, Sierra Leone gets for occupy for the first time a seat at the UN Security Council, where in fact that very year, incidentally, Sierra Leone starts a deepened bilateral relationship with China. It was under the presidency of Sierra Leone in 1971, where China replaced Taiwan at the permanent category of the United Nations Security Council for become one of the permanent members under the presidency of Sierra Leone. 53 years on, Sierra Leone don't come back very stoutly at the UN Security Council as a non-permanent member. What does that mean? It means Sierra Leone as a country they stand very tall internationally, and with the overwhelming support of 188 votes, now a reflection of the strengthened foreign policy of Sierra Leone under the leadership of His Excellency Brigadier Retired Julius Maada Bio. And what does this mean? It means in Africa, now only 3 countries at a time they represent Africa at the UN Security Council. And Sierra Leone, now the one AU approved candidates, one of the 2 AU approved candidates in this time, we get that overwhelming support and go to the non-permanent category, with Ghana and Gabon exiting. Sierra Leone and Algeria, they enter for join Mozambique. So there are 3 countries representing Africa. And this means in the UN Security Council, over 70% of the issues where the world premier peace and security organization at the Council, UN Council, Security Council, it means Sierra Leone and these 2 other African countries that, and therefore they articulate, promote, and protect African interests in the Council, bearing in mind that over 70% of the decisions and resolutions that are taken in the UN Security Council get to do with Africa. And so that representation is to talk for Africa, peace and security, and for global security.
For somebody where they listen now, go ask, or perhaps go ask, if Salone are a member of the Security Council, and so what? How important it is?
It's very important. I mean, if you are participating in international diplomacy and you're not part of the world, and you get that distinct and significant honor for being selected as one of the leaders of the continent, for represent the continent and be a voice for the continent. Now, the world, a most important peace and security organization, I think that is a very, very significant showcase of how Sierra Leone is important globally. And coming back to, like I said, Sierra Leone is not only in the UN Security Council. For over 18 years, Sierra Leone done the push as coordinator of the 10 heads of states, then where African Union be elect for make them pursue a reform of the UN Security Council. Sierra Leone get that honor for coordinate the effort of the African Union, for make sure say Africa get more representation in the non-permanent category and representation in the permanent category, because of the many issues where the council they deal with, we therefore do with Africa. And Sierra Leone in particular, for the experience we'll get from your own civil conflict. And I think we now showcase with leadership in the UN Security Council for pursue contemporaneous matters like climate change, food insecurity, global conflict, violence, conflict in the world, terrorism, discrimination and inequality, cyber threat, and all of those. So Sierra Leone therefore play a key role with the other 2 A3 members, I mean, Mozambique and Algeria, for represent Africa for push global peace and security. So it is important for Sierra Leone as a leader, one of the leaders in Africa, for pursue international peace and security.
The program now, Good Morning Salute, the country from 98.1 FM. You listen to the Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. We will come to you shortly. We will go for a short break inside the program Good Morning Salute.
OTP, Union Trust Bank, the game changer don't come. As we the lead, others they follow. And just with your mobile phone, you go transfer and receive money with ease, speed, and safety. UTB don't make it possible for collect money na ATM machine without the ATM card. Now that we call cardless ATM. You, the UTB customer, go send money to anybody and deposit and collect the money na any UTB ATM panel without any ATM card. All it can do now for just enter the reference code and collect the money. The UTB copper in safe day. With this UTB copper, any UTB customer can transfer copper with a mobile phone to anybody up to 5 billion loans. And with the reference code, the person can go to any UTB branch and collect the copper. Union Trust Bank, we there for you.
The program is still a listen to a Good Morning Salone, and it come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM and from New Englandville studio. Back to you, Mr. Minister, as we done the talk about the UN Security Council. Waiting at the number of airways Salone gets for day at the UN Security Council.
In very significant 2 years. In the non-permanent category of the UN Security Council, they elect members then for 2 years. Sierra Leone in tenure, in effect, they begin on the 1st of January and they end on the 31st of January 2025. Earlier on, Mr. Kamara asked what significance would that be to Sierra Leone and to Africa. I think it's very important. Yesterday, there was a landmark resolution at the UN Security Council where, since 1981, Africa don't they ask for let the UN Security Council divulge specific peacekeeping, rights to the African Union in terms of resources and logistics for lay Africans and would deal with African problems. And yesterday, after well over 40 years, and the three members there right now are Ghana, Gabon, and Mozambique, then being push this resolution with Sierra Leone co-sponsor, we led yesterday to the passing of the resolution where they make the UN Security Council, and then they contribute now about 70% to the African peacekeeping effort, and the remaining 25 coming from other sources in Africa for make we get peacekeeping enforcement. We know the trouble where they right now globally, but Africa gets in a unique situation. We don't see the recent uptick in the unconstitutional grab of power in Africa. We don't see how terrorist activities are not intensifying at the Sahel countries. We don't see how climate change affects African countries. We are one of the most vulnerable, continents in the world, and especially Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is among one of the 20 most vulnerable nations to the impact of climate change. So these are all issues that are very important for make Sierra Leone join other voices in the Security Council, for ask for the developed world, for make them consider the plight of Africa in terms of contribution to climate mitigation and prevention, and in terms of also asking the wonder would they pollute the world, for medicine will get a check on the rate of polluting the world so that the world will live in a very secure, peaceful, and stable world. And so it is very important that Sierra Leone go to the UN Security Council at this difficult time for show leadership on behalf of Africa and the world in general.
So after the 2 years where Salone go then at this Security Council, then go re-elect Salone back again?
Well, it's yes, of course, as long as Sierra Leone remain for be part of the United Nations, it will always be a candidate in the long run for also run for the seat. But like I say, Sierra Leone is making an effort for coordinate the African common position, for make the UN Security Council will be expanded and make them more democratic by having the representation at the permanent category, and for increase the number of countries where they go in the non-permanent category. By so doing, Sierra Leone will get a sooner chance as well for able run for seats that they don't permanent category.
Now, Salone they take a seat at a time when Africa is threatened by coups, and Yusuf don't mention, especially in the sub-region, ECOWAS countries, them plenty coups, them, and even Salone taking seats at the Security Council being threatened by coup. Who say where they start from in representing Africa interest and also negotiating and talking about democratic elected governance or government for staying at power? What's going to begin?
No other form of government nor be an ideal substitute for democracy. The chair of the Authority of Heads of State of ECOWAS, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, after the election, make a categorical statement, say ECOWAS will not tolerate any unconstitutional grab of power within ECOWAS. And so that is why you see, even domestically, the unfortunate and dastardly act of the one then way being come for orchestrate that coup d'etat. You see the next day ECOWAS come and in very strong terms and with a high-powered delegation condemn the attempted coup way happened in Sierra Leone. And that's go for sure you say ECOWAS is now determined not only to forestall the unscrupulous intentions of people who want to bring chaos in West African countries, but also for standby democracies in West Africa for make sure say they sustain. And Sierra Leone has always been heralded as one of the most peaceful and progressive democracies in the sub-region. The test of the 26th of November, an awakening call to ECOWAS for show the breadth of fragility of the sub-region. But despite the fact that we get that we own unfortunate situation in Sierra Leone still remain for be very important in ECOWAS in pursuing constitutional order in other countries. Yeah, for instance, President Bio and President Foy of Togo then unanimously select them in this past 64th summit of the heads of state of ECOWAS for making them serve as mediators for the transition in Niger, for instance, and taking into cognizance the unique experiences of President Bio. ECOWAS approached President Bio and said they want to make President Bio be one of the lead mediators for bring back Niger to constitutional order. Also, we see the role of President Bio play initially when the takeover was in Guinea. He went there and met with the military, and he's also playing a very key role in the transition process in Guinea. So ECOWAS is determined, and President Bio, as an example of a good ECOWAS leader, is also determined to work with the chair of the Authority of Heads of State, President Tinubu, for make sure say democracy prevail, democracy sustained within the West African sub-region.
Continue for stay with we in Timothy Kaba, Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. They talk about Salone position at the Security Council. We come back to you with a look at the deployment of ECOWAS standby force now Salone, routine the status of that negotiation day or discussion. The program Good Morning Salone, they continue come toward us to the guest Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Conrad Saki, where they inside the program for talk about activities in the ministry. One issue we don't be topical now the country, now the worst results we be come out with according to an analysis, now only 7% being passed English language. For listeners, them now the first time we get to after we the worst results being come out. Take me through the worst results we will have been published and the issue of the English and maths. Now that result there.
Well, let's go back to the figures. It wasn't 7%, it was 17%.
17%, I beg your pardon for that.
But I think if you go back and look at the context of this, I mentioned earlier on that we did a national baseline assessment of Upikinem in 2022. That result, they give you an indication why we struggle with English. Because if 65% of Upikinem will then read a basic text, that the one way able read them. Yes, we they see that them picking and they not go able to explain what in and read. Then put on several years now, see then same picking and they now they can take worse English, where you expect them for apply critical thinking, where you not even understand what you read. So again, you're not for surprised that the English results then that bad. Having said that, as a government, we don't look into the and then one of the reasons that we believe, say, right at the center of our strategy in education, we therefore deploy a massive amount of limited resources on the development of foundational skills. Because if we get at that stage, the research will tell you that every other level of education, as them picking and they progress, you will see the impact and the reward for getting it right at the early stage. But let me look at other ways that we can use for address this issue. One is we look at having catch-up classes before people take their WAS exams. And one of the reasons why we consider is the fact that we want to make more people pass English. Yes, and we don't want because again, let me go back to the whole thing about repeaters. One of the reasons we make people repeat the exam over and over and over and over and over. When you look at the data, some of them now people are able to pass the exam, but they don't get English. Yes, and no say the university sector, they at one point also come up with this idea, say they go get access courses, but after a while, some of them decided they not go down that road again. So we look at TNM for make sure say we address that issue there as it currently stands. But I think if you look at the context of the baseline assessment we will do, you're not for surprised that they get that problem there with English.
So in the area of recruitment, una not feel una gets these two subjects here, so in the English and maths for make una recruit more teacher than for make them go able for teaching and picking there, so that's when they go sit their exam there, so they go able to come out with flying colors.
I don't know what I think they conflate the two issues. I don't think it's about the recruitment of teachers that will make the situation change. I think the need for gets the basic understanding of English before they go to that was area. But anyway, going back to the teachers, recruitment of teachers. Over the last as I said when I started, Mina be the chair of the Teaching Service Commission. Over the first year or the first tenure of the president, we recruited 12,000 teachers. 12,000 teachers. Now we recruit. For this budget, we just approve this week. We get provision for recruit 2,000 more teachers. So of course we will give consideration to English teachers. In addition to that, also from that 40 million we say we get from Global Partnership for Education, we just say we go stipend 1,000 preschool teachers as well. So in total, for this year alone, starting in September, we will recruit 3,000 teachers. The recruitment of teachers still remains a challenge that we get in the sector. And the reason being, we're going to get the largest workforce in the entire country. On the government payroll, we currently get 37,700, and we then 2,000, or if you the 2,000 will they add, it will take you up to 39,000. But we still get a significant amount of community teachers who will get now the system. But we are working towards making sure that is improved.
So how will they work out this recruitment? Now the one them we done the volunteer at the system or na advertisement to get for pool for different schools them for make them recruit teachers them?
Well, you see, it's an interesting question. We worked with World Bank about 3 years ago. Then getting an app where we develop, we then call the protocol. The protocol will go into the database and tell you all the area that you need for recruit teachers. It use what they call the pupil-teacher ratio for determine who side you they recruit teachers. But I must say to you, it was not a popular app, even though the app of itself was very good. You will get MP themselves will go say, well, you recruit now this other my own constituency or your own place, you know, they recruit now my own and waiting. But really, now they need day. That's all the app they do. So we currently in negotiation with an organization called Lewiland, who would develop a new app. We're going to take into consideration some of the lessons that we'll learn from the previous app. But coming back to this, it's important that we recruit community teachers. And the reason why it's important that we recruit community teachers, because in their rural areas, then community teacher, they even when they know they pay them from the government payroll, then still they're not in rural areas. So we know that if we recruit them, the likelihood they say we go able to retain them in their area then they. If you get an open recruitment process, which we don't try before while we did at the TSC, then people like they, let me give you 2 examples. If you recruit na Cambia, invariably most of the people who you go recruit na Cambia, they will come off from Putloko because at Putloko you get teacher training colleges. When they can Cambia, as soon as they get a PIN code, then they come back na Putloko. Look now at the south. You want to recruit na Pujong. If you do an open recruitment process, invariably the people who they recruit, then they come off from Bo because they come off from Jala. When you see them kind of Pujong, as they get a PIN code, then they go back to Bo. So we know that if you recruit community teachers, we already do invest in time and effort, or sometimes it gets a link with that particular area day. It's more likely for the another area day. So we preference now for recruits from the community teachers. But of course, it will have to be a free and fair recruitment process.
Continue for stay with you. We will go for a short break inside the program. Good morning, sir. We'll return to you shortly.
Baby, you don't hear the other samba where GT Bank gets for we?
Wow, now wetin GT Bank get for we?
Na GT Bank no more can do am. You know Yegi say GT Bank they give free airtime or data? Just listen to this. Anytime where you go collect money, whether send for you via money or even MoneyGram service, now any of the GT Bank branch them all over the country, GT Bank, they give you free airtime or data. It tell like you know you're good. I say anytime when you go collect money, whether send for you via money or even MoneyGram service, now any GT Bank branch them all over the country, GT Bank they give you free airtime or data. Me self no go left behind. I they go collect me money one time where they send for me through real money service and Sally Ion where they send through MoneyGram service for make we self enjoy the free airtime or data where GT Bank they give. GT Bank, it go better. You bank with we. Use cement when a superior quality. Cement where they give you value for your money. Cement where they settle your wahala where you can get pan cement business. Cement where they show you the strangeness. Usai in matter. Cement where meets international standard. And that's not Dangote 42.5R grade 3 export land limestone cement. When a good quality and best cement that the country. You know, see when me building Timap Tickets and Tranga, Dangote 42.5R grade cement, na the highest grade pan cement, where you know the fair no side for buying na the country. No say you deserve the best quality grade cement, where then test and confirm say na the best. No make them tell you, no settle for less. Buy Dangote 42.5R grade cement for pull yourself pan kotat, losses and wahala. Dangote 42.5R grade cement, na the best among the rest.
She said she no need that woman on me bed.
The program is still listening to our Good Morning Salone, and they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get the Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. And Mr. Minister, one thing we want to pull of recent since our press release had the removal of payments for was repeated them. Why una no go allow the first timer them where they below the age of 20 years?
I think this is an interesting question. I think the current policy, the previous policy, that is exactly what EBC. EBC, we only pay for first-time repeaters. We did at the school, and let me stress, they at the same school Not of somebody they come up from outside the school, now the same school. But let me just share some statistics with you. 2017, the number of people that we take WAS, we take WAS now be 29,922. Okay, we get free quality education 2018. So that increased a little bit to 33,596. So now we take on 2019, 1 year after free quality education, increased to 115,098. Now, let we bring her forward a little bit. 2022, we get 206,874. 206,000. So now go from 2019, we now 115,000 to 2022, 206,874. Now, let's take last year no more. Last year, 2023, we get 243,203. So just between 2022 to 2023, we add 40,000 more. When you break down the figure, then you find out, see, the repeaters, they now, they boku pass the first time entrance. That did not make sense. So you get people that were ineligible for this process with the kind inside this process. Now, let us think and through. For make somebody when not inside the process, kind inside the process, how that is possible? Something must happen. We are feeling is that them people must they pay something to somebody for make them bring them inside that system there. So by taking off this policy, then go still continue for pay, then go still continue for take the exam. It just happen almost say then go do that and they privately. That money where them currently they pay now. It go to WAEC. It go help WAEC for invigilate exams better. We go able to ask WAEC for make sure say the invigilator them way they did now we center them. We go increase them so that we're more vigilant. For me, it's very clear. When the president introduced free quality education, he add quality for now. We get for go for quality, we get for maintain which are called the gold standard of our education system. If we not do it now, it will affect all of us. And I repeat, all of us, we have to maintain the gold standard of we qualification system. So that tomorrow, when you go to hospital, that doctor where they treat you, he pass the exam. You understand? That engineer where they bill you us, he know maths and all that thing. So now that's what they try for do. But at 243,000, that money there, if we make savings for them, we will take them for improve the system so that people then go pass the exam first time round. Okay. First time round, they not get for repeat. Okay. And let me just throw one last thing before I left this question. Now the 5 WAEC countries, now Salone no more the government they pay for repeaters. All the other 4, if you they repeat, now private WAS you they take. Salone now we no more.
We will come back to you. We they look at how they implement this and other issues that they do at the ministry. Okay. In name na Conrad Saki, in the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education. Inside the program they talk about the activities them well. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation go left anytime from now, but I get some messages them we don't send we will respond to. They don't send on our 0779819819 and also now we Facebook page. And Theo?
Well, this one say Senge during his tenure made it easy for students to get their results free from their phones. Why, as is successor taking us back to scratch card?
Well, this one from Elizabeth Masako in our Facebook page, they say, Mr. Minister of Foreign Affairs, what is the position of Sierra Leone regarding the current war between Israel and Palestine? What would Sierra Leone do to reverse the bordering tension in this regard?
This other one say, Mr. Education Minister, plenty thank you for the good work where you save don't come for can do.
We continue for look at more messages them now we Facebook page they say This one, they say, please, Minister of Foreign Affairs International Cooperation, tell us more about the foreign. Okay. This one, Eddie, from Eddie Grant, now Facebook page, they say, if the embassies are are representatives of the country, why is President Bill always traveling to go and represent Sierra Leone? Is he not making the work of the ambassadors redundant? Dana from Eddie Grant, now Facebook page.
This one say, Mr. Minister of Foreign Affairs, which country that are replying standby force in Lunge and what is the number?
This one say, again from Elizabeth, our Facebook page, the opening foreign missions abroad is key to strengthening relations, but sometimes we need to study prevailing circumstances before moving with such intention.
This one say, Mr. Minister, thanks to have you at the studio today. What about the new stream for the SSS1? Have they provided trained and qualified teachers? Because as for this term, there is more effective teaching. There is no effective teaching.
This one from Jeremiah Aya Inga Bandana, our Facebook page, they say, Mr. Minister, with over 80% failure in English language for 2023 was, we can now conclude that the radical inclusion is now over. But preventing the repeaters from taking the exam on the private school is a complete violation of their fundamental right to education. The government is not paying for WAS candidates in private schools. So why can't you just allow them to register in private schools to rewrite their exams? Private schools are paying for their WAS candidates, so allow repeaters to take the exam in private schools. Or are you getting percentage from the private WAS fees collected by WAEC? Private WAS should be a choice and not compulsory.
We are in the UN to make decision and contribute. So if we don't position in very important international matter, I am afraid to say such in a massive representation of Sierra Leoneans.
Okay, more text messages. Then now we Facebook page and we continue for look at them. If you just join, we can drop a comment on 0779819981 or go on our Facebook page and drop a comment on issues that we discuss inside the program. The another one, yeah, they say firstly on the issue of embassy in Jerusalem. They say firstly in July 1980, the Knesset passed the Jerusalem law as part of the country's basic law, which declared Jerusalem the unified capital of Israel. The minister just told you that Tel Aviv is the capital. What the minister is not fully aware of is that Israel wants to move the capital to Tel Aviv, a move that was endorsed by then President Donald J. Trump in 2017. That move or statement did not go down too well with the international community and the people of Palestine. Sierra Leone doesn't want to be in position where the Palestinians are not happy with us to set up an embassy in Tel Aviv. What are the damn intentions? With all these damn intentions between the two countries, is this the best time to talk about opening an embassy in Israel? Well, from the messages that we come to Minister for Foreign Affairs International Cooperation for comment on them.
Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks to the texters and those who sent their messages. I'll begin with the last text, and I think there's a little confusion in conclusion in the start of this person text. We say Donald Trump, the push for make the capital will be in Tel Aviv. It's on the contrary. The capital is already Tel Aviv, and Sierra Leone now a member of the C24 members, where they stand against decolonization and also the inalienable right of people to exist as sovereign state. And Sierra Leone don't always vote on principles for support a two-state solution and the existence of the people of Palestine for making them get their own country and exist as a free people. So wanting to have an embassy in Israel, which is a legitimate government, nor go against Sierra Leone in principal position in any way. And we also get a relationship with Palestine. And in recent, almost all the resolutions that we don't go to the UN in favor of a ceasefire na Gaza, Sierra Leone don't vote in favor of humanitarian ceasefire because we believe, say, the only solution to this problem, a two-state solution, was that the two countries then will get clear borders and for me them pursue their own, all man pursuing your aspiration, peace, and happiness. And so regardless what is happening, Sierra Leone get a relationship with both of these countries. And coming to the question, we say Sierra Leone gets embassies overseas. Why? His Excellency the President, they go to them countries there. I mean, you get Sierra Leone is not only having a bilateral relationship with countries, but we are also a very active participant in the multilateral space. Also, multilateral space, we talk about organizations like the UN, ECOWAS, African Union, IMF, and World Bank, and all of these institutions. And so, at certain levels, I mean, in fact, ambassadors get certain levels only to represent the state in terms of promoting and protecting the interests of the country, but you also get important meetings and where they are at ministerial levels, and you get other summits that when are only heads of state then they attend then summit the day. And the president, because he's the guardian of the constitution, and the constitution is spelled out in section 10 with foreign policy, which makes the president the chief diplomat of a country. So it is at the gift of the president for represent Sierra Leone at the highest level anywhere in the world for promote and protect the interests of the country. So having an embassy does not, it's not in any way a forbearance from any president to participate in international cooperation and international negotiation, international promotion of the country. And President Biodun do this effectively. And today we talk about the success of the free quality education. Now, the relationship in terms of diplomatic relationship with Sierra Leone get with their multilateral institutions and then bilateral partners here. Now, we they able to push the country agenda for make we get support from our partners and to promote education, promote healthcare, and to promote food security and take care of the climate. So that has to be understood that embassies are representatives of the president. And when the president, it is right and necessary for the president to represent a country at the highest level, the president will do so. And I think we all don't see president for data UN Security Council now a function and a product of the president in the international moves that we don't make for get back confidence for our country and for make our country relevant in the international space. Regarding Palestine and Israel, I've stated Sierra Leone has always gotten that principal position. We believe, say, the Palestinian people then get right for exist, the Israelis themselves get right for exist within their own country. And so with the call for peace, for prevailing in that particular region there, and I make with the support the two-state solution. I think these are some of the very few questions. But let me also tell you what has happened. Because of the confidence that the international community now has in Sierra Leone, this year alone, we just don't receive the Chargé d'Affaires of Saudi Arabia. We don't choose for open an embassy in Sierra Leone by next year. Morocco also get a Chargé d'Affaires. We don't secure a place for letting themselves open an embassy in Sierra Leone next year. South Korea is also going to open an embassy in Sierra Leone next year. All this, they should say, many countries don't consider Sierra Leone for be a country where they align with because of the democracy of a country, because of the mutual respect where they between, and because of the progress where they make as a nation. So this, now one of the many products of good diplomacy.
Quick before you left, you go throw light on the deployment of ECOMOG standby force now Salone, if any they happen, and waiting at the conversation around this quick one.
Okay, in the just concluded 64th summit of heads of state of the ECOWAS region, a communique being come out where ECOWAS, I think about Article 29 to 31 of that communique states clearly say, because of the breadth of the fragility of the sub-region, ECOWAS has to be very vigilant in monitoring, safeguarding the democracy of the sub-region, taking experience from what happened in Nigeria and other places. And so after the fracas, after that unfortunate, and atrocious attempt for removing democratically elected government on the 26th of November, ECOWAS demands say this sub-region has to be protected. And I make them decide, say, they will send a stabilization mission now Sierra Leone. Of course, we know, say, before now, in fact, ECOWAS been able to develop the ECOMOG logistics and supply depot in Nalunge, which is coming to, waiting almost don't come now to finish. By January, God willing, we'll open that depot there. We'll suddenly mobilize ammunition, arms, and logistics for ECOWAS mission in the sub-region. But let me also get this to listeners for understand. A stabilization force is not an intervention force. We have a very capable army. We get a very capable army where, in fact, repel the insurgents then will encounter on the 26th. So this is not in any way taking the sovereignty of the army of Sierra Leone. But stabilization forces in Gambia, for instance, based on the security assessment of the Gambia, they still get, in fact, this communique, you see, say ECOWAS further extend for 1 year the ECOWAS stabilization mission at Gambia. We'll also get another one at Guinea-Bissau, where ECOWAS also from the 64th session also extend the continuation of that particular stabilization force for a year.
Quickly, if you make Salone the hub for ECOWAS stabilization force, people would think, say, perhaps it will be a security threat to the country.
Why would it be a security
when
threat?
Other countries, them way the like Niger, for instance, the army come out, Salone go attack Niger, then go think, say, perhaps then go turn back to the country who said them come out.
No, sir. I mean, ECOMOG is not it's not an insurgent force. It's a peace protection, peace, and they guard peace, monitor, and enforce peace,
Thank
right?
you.
And so there's no way it will be thought about that. Take, for instance, Germany, Egypt. These are all places that we use as base for operating at the Middle East and other countries were very close to the countries there. So in no way will that bring a reprisal attack on Sierra Leone. But in the showcase, Sierra Leone is part of ECOWAS, and Sierra Leone is a place where it's suitable for such operations, given the geographical location of Sierra Leone.
Okay, Mr. Minister, quick one in the issue of Yenga. Yenga now one big issue we don't go now. What you don't do in terms of solving that problem?
We're engaging. Guinea is a very important partner to Sierra Leone of long-term bilateral relation, and beyond even diplomatic relation, we get cultural, we get economic relation. One of the biggest partners. Unfortunately, the militarization of that particular Yenga started in 2002. Now, with the Joinu brothers, then I have visited myself Guinea, asking the Guineans then for demilitarize, demobilize from that particular Yenga territory, because from every indication, whether legal, historical, and even geographical, Yenga is the bona fide property of Sierra Leone. And with the partner engagement, they will believe, say, we need to go through the diplomatic route for ensure say we get to place back.
Thank you very much, Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Timothy Kaba, for joining inside the program Good Morning Salone, as he take leave out of the studio. Plenty, thank you for joining the program Good Morning Salone. They continue in the country from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Quick, we come to the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education for response to some text messages there. And in addition to that, quick one, they say, why did the government change the subject for the program is still listening to now Good Morning Salone. They come to you from 98.1 FM. We still get the minister. They can respond to the text messages then quick, but we go online quickly. We say one incident happened yesterday in Abacha Street by Eastern Police. We say then say container for them and plenty people damaged. Where forget update on that. We get the mayor for the Freetown City Council, our worship, Yvonne Akisoya. Hello, good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salone, Yvonne. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, the program now Good Morning Salone, the country from 98.1 FM. We still try to get Yvonne Akiswa online. Good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salone. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, from the background where at Dongi, an incident happened yesterday in the central business district of Freetown. As the mayor for the Freetown City Council, can confirm this and the level of casualty.
Hello.
Also, some of the text messages them we don't come in, and so far this one say, why did the government changes the subject for those who are now in SS1 and with textbook for them? Quick, this we then messages them we don't come. Ali, I can respond to them. Okay, I think we did go online quickly. We're sorry for that. Hello, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, listeners.
Yes, as I tell listeners, the incident happened yesterday with a container for down at the Central Business District of Freetown. You can confirm this and number of casualties quickly.
Okay. Well, yesterday I received a call from a counselor, and I'll go on to call the Abacha chairman, and he confirmed that the incident happened. So I immediately called the Deputy Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Mustafa Kaba, for making know and for make release. So he'll be able to send ambulances, but people that may not move already with public transport for going to the hospital. As of this morning, it confirmed saying now 3 dead, 13 patients altogether. The report now corner. 3 don't discharge, 1 don't go military, don't be transferred to military hospital, and 9 still being at the hospital in under treatment.
Now, Yvonne, citing the number of casualties, 3 already dead. Somebody where they listen to you now or view our Facebook page, they know say in the evening that this capital Freetown, it will be like a run race between containers, taxi, poda, and the people them. No time frame for them containers up. Some not brace, some not even get wheel waiting the run. Some tire don't run out. As authorities, them what's at the level of coordination between the Freetown City Council and other safety authorities them for ensure say then container so not a pass among people with then kind conditions, some not even get breeze.
So I want to just clarify, say Freetown City Council not get any mandate whatsoever in respect of road safety. That mandate is firmly with the SLRSA, Sierra Leone Road Safety Authority. That then they check vehicle, that then the licensed vehicle, that then the examined vehicle. So we as a council very concerned, and we definitely go once again meet with SLRSA, but not just with SLRSA. This now we all business. All the several stakeholders get an interest in this. The Ministry of Transport, I know say they're very interested because when they supervise the ministry, SLRA said get role for play. So this morning, I go to visit the site, but I also reach out to various agencies, ministry, departments, and agencies where involved for let we see waiting will be the next step. Not to the first 10 days with the getting kind of accident there. It happen, it only happen. And so we as stakeholders, we're very, very keen for understand SLRSA and position and how we go able for coordinate with them. We not get a role, a mandate, but we definitely get a very strong interest. And we want for we bring all we own support possible for SLRSA able for ensure that we treat them and the vehicles always treat them safe.
Okay, thank you very much. The mayor for the Freetown City Council, Yvonne Akiswaya, who said they talked to me about that incident where happened in the Central Business District. We said confirm 3 deaths don't registered so far. As I mentioned earlier, Impact don't mention not to the first and not to the second and not to the third. And very dangerous. Anybody can fall victim of them container so they work on the streets. And most times they don't get brace and don't get even better tire. The program na Good Morning Salone. We get still the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education at the program. We been the talk and been the response to text messages them we then post to them so far.
So I get a couple of one the way I'll be taken on. One will be the scratch card issue. Just going back to the scratch card, I want to just make it known to everybody that when results come out, you really even don't need scratch card. You can go now your school and get your results. Because when the results come out, we send them to the school them, and the school then can give you result just as we maybe take exam, now so maybe get me results. However, there was this issue where we don't develop this result checker, but there was a conflict between we and WAEC on the basis that WAEC we don't develop this smart card within all the member states them. So not to Salone no more, they know all the member states, they don't invest money, so they not be very happy with them. However, Minister Senge pushed them. But there was an agreement where they make after that push day. And that was to say that then get for make why get for use the scratch card. So what we would do 1 week after they don't use the scratch card, we put all the results now the result checker. But let me tell the public a good news. The good news is next year, the 18th of March, Salone they take over the chairmanship of WAEC across the region. So not to Yanomor, the chairman, they across for West Africa. One of the things that we intend for do now for make them change the convention in certain areas and also for revisit this scratch card issue. So I am hopeful that in the new year, we go get this under control. But let me also just remind we listeners that when it comes to Becker, we put her immediately in the result checker. We not even wait for the 1 week. And because that exam day now we control are more than waiting with the control in terms of WAS. But I believe we will resolve this in the new year when they come. The second thing, there was also this issue of trained and qualified teachers for the new SS curriculum. We get a plan in place where we develop the SS curriculum for make sure say some of our existing teachers then use the skills that we then get for transfer them into new subjects. In areas, for example, where we get we not get skills or trained teachers then, we they look at the opportunity of sharing teacher that we get their skills then with the private sector. So for example, in coding and things like that. But also in addition to that, we also don't reach out to organizations like Peace Corps. We don't reach out to VSO, which are voluntary service overseas, we are the British equivalent of Peace Corps, for see whether we can get technical teachers there. We'll go up with our new curriculum day. So there are plans in place for address some of the issues then. Somebody asked the question, why we change the curriculum? Let me just say this. Before the new secondary school, the new senior secondary school curriculum come in place, Salone not be even get curriculum at that level. Waiting them to use for teach, that the exam syllabus will work the country. And a curriculum, you the link that waiting the subject that we they teach to your national priorities. We be need for do that if we get for take ourselves serious about what we want for do in the future. This is why we get for change them. And honestly, the feedback we would get from that new curriculum day, it's of international standards. We don't get very positive feedback on that. And it's very forward thinking, very forward looking. It places we in the right position for the skills of the 21st century. If you look at next year, 2024, African Union don't declare the year as a year of education. And the theme for that now for create the skills for the African fit for 21st century. A country like Salone don't think ahead of that game day for make sure say the new curriculum go create an African fit for the 21st century. Then there was somebody also who said something about radical inclusion in this repeaters policy. Let me just say this to the public also. The only exception of people that we would allow for repeat, we government they pay for, and then one day we register with WAEC as being disabled. So if you are disabled, you will not be disadvantaged. We will make sure that we provide the adequate, reasonable adjustments for make sure so you take the exam. Lastly, there was also this issue about whether people then can take the exam to private schools and waiting. You can take the exam whether to private schools or just go to WAEC and take her as a private student. So we not say you can't take exam again. We just say government not to pay for it. Okay.
Thank you very much, Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Komon-Tok, for joining me in the edition of the program Good Morning Salone. From time to time, we get you in the studio for explain government policies on the education, especially the basic education, and how are they implemented. Please, thank you for joining me.
Well, now this edition of Good Morning Salone go left you for today. Plenty thank you to the technical team, Usman Kama and the team, for where they make on a series live na Facebook. Same way so Michael Sambola, Kabia and Mange Mansari. And so the DJ we don't be behind the machine. Me we bring to you this program to the minute and I say have a blessed day. Bye bye.